questions surrounding why, widely known as Bato, has still not been placed under custody despite discussions linked to Supreme Court developments, has become one of the biggest political and legal debates in the Philippines. The issue is not as simple as a single court order automatically leading to immediate detention. Several legal, constitutional, and political factors are shaping the situation, and authorities continue to move carefully because of the sensitivity surrounding a sitting senator and former national police chief. At the center of the debate is the legal interpretation of the Supreme Court's actions and whether those actions directly require immediate enforcement against Senator Ronald dela Rosa. Some legal analysts argue that the court's position creates pressure for authorities to proceed, while others say the decision still requires additional procedural steps before any enforcement action can legally happen. Supporters of dela Rosa insist that due process must be followed carefully. They argue that no individual, regardless of political pressure or public reaction, should face immediate action without proper legal procedures being completed. According to people close to the senator, his camp believes that certain legal remedies and motions remain available. Because of that, they say immediate enforcement would be premature. Critics, however, believe the delay raises questions about equal application of the law. Some opposition voices and activist groups argue that ordinary citizens often face immediate enforcement actions once legal decisions are issued, while powerful political figures appear to receive more time and flexibility. That perception has intensified online debate and fueled growing public scrutiny. Another major factor is dela Rosa's position as a sitting senator. Under Philippine law, senators have constitutional protections and specific legal processes that can complicate enforcement actions. While legislative immunity does not automatically prevent accountability in all situations, authorities typically proceed with caution when dealing with elected officials because any move can trigger institutional conflict between branches of government. The political environment also plays a role. Ronald dela Rosa remains a highly influential figure in Philippine politics, particularly because of his close association with former president. During Duterte's administration, dela Rosa became one of the most recognizable faces of the government's anti-crime campaign while serving as chief of the Philippine National Police. His supporters continue to defend his role during that period, saying he implemented policies aimed at restoring public order and national security. Opponents, however, continue raising concerns about accountability connected to operations conducted during those years. Human rights organizations and critics have repeatedly called for deeper investigations into controversial incidents linked to the anti-crime campaign. These debates remain politically sensitive inside the Philippines and internationally. The current administration has also been trying to balance legal independence with political stability. Government officials have generally avoided making highly emotional public statements about the matter. Instead, authorities continue emphasizing that institutions should be allowed to function independently and that the legal process should move without political interference. Inside the Senate, reactions have also been mixed. Some lawmakers have defended dela Rosa's right to due process and warned against what they describe as politically motivated pressure campaigns. Others have argued that public officials should fully cooperate with legal proceedings in order to maintain confidence in democratic institutions. Another reason no immediate action has happened is the possibility of ongoing appeals or legal clarification requests. In high-profile cases involving senior political figures, lawyers often file multiple motions, requests for reconsideration, and procedural challenges. These legal mechanisms can temporarily delay enforcement while courts review technical questions surrounding jurisdiction, constitutional protections, or implementation procedures. Legal experts in the Philippines have pointed out that Supreme Court decisions do not always result in instant enforcement the same day headlines appear. In many cases, agencies must still receive formal documentation, coordinate with prosecutors, and determine operational procedures before any next step can occur. Because of the national attention on the issue, officials are expected to move carefully to avoid accusations of overreach or procedural mistakes. Public opinion on the matter remains deeply divided. Supporters of dela Rosa view him as a strong figure who helped confront security problems during a difficult period in the country's history. They believe he is being unfairly targeted because of his alliance with Duterte and his outspoken political positions. Critics take the opposite view. They argue that accountability should apply equally to everyone, regardless of rank or political influence. Many online discussions have focused on whether delays in enforcement create the impression that powerful individuals receive special treatment. The issue has also become a major media and political talking point because it connects to broader national debates about justice, institutional independence, and the legacy of the Duterte administration. Every legal development now receives enormous attention from both supporters and critics, increasing pressure on authorities to avoid any procedural error. At this stage, the absence of an arrest or custody action does not necessarily mean authorities are refusing to act. Instead, it reflects the complex interaction between legal procedure, constitutional protections, political sensitivity, and institutional caution. Philippine authorities appear to be trying to ensure that whatever action eventually happens can withstand legal scrutiny and public examination. For now, Senator Ronald dela Rosa continues publicly defending himself while maintaining that he is prepared to answer allegations through legal channels. His allies insist that the law should not be driven by political emotion or media pressure. Critics continue demanding faster accountability and clearer government action. The situation remains fluid, and further court developments, motions, or official directives could significantly affect what happens next. As the debate surrounding Senator Ronald dela Rosa continues to grow, the situation has become much bigger than just one political figure. For many Filipinos, this issue now represents a larger national conversation about accountability, constitutional rights, institutional independence, and the balance between law and politics. Supporters believe dela Rosa deserves the full protection of due process and should not be judged by public pressure or online reactions. Critics, meanwhile, continue questioning why legal developments involving powerful personalities appear to move more slowly than cases involving ordinary citizens. That divide has kept the issue at the center of political discussions across the country. What happens next could carry major implications not only for dela Rosa himself, but also for public confidence in Philippine institutions. Every statement from legal authorities, every motion filed by lawyers, and every reaction inside the Senate is now being closely watched by both supporters and critics. The situation also reflects the continuing influence of former President Rodrigo Duterte and the lasting political impact of policies implemented during his administration. Even as emotions rise online and political tensions continue building, authorities appear determined to move carefully through the legal process in order to avoid further controversy or constitutional disputes. For now, no final outcome has been reached, and the case remains politically and legally sensitive. The coming weeks could bring new court decisions, additional legal challenges, or fresh political reactions that may reshape the national conversation once again. Until then, the public continues watching closely as one of the Philippines' most discussed legal and political stories unfolds in real time, raising difficult questions about justice, power, and the future direction of the country's democratic institutions.